Hello, everyone. Welcome to week one of Education 1100, Net 01. My name is Matt Zalaki, and I'll be instructor for this term, fall 2021. I've been teaching for about 18 years now. I think my first year was 2004. I did a semester of student teaching, and then I took over second semester 2005. I teach high school. I've taught middle school. I'm a technology and engineering education teacher. So what does that mean? It means I've taught everything from woodworking to electronics to engineering, welding, computer science, kind of a little bit of everything, hands-on, technology related. Um, I love teaching. I said this in my announcement. If you read my announcement, I'm really excited to share my views of the teaching profession with you. I think we need to continue to get really good people into the field. Sometimes teachers get a bad rap, and I feel like teaching this class helps. It allows me to do my part to share all the good things about teaching and get people into the profession because it's really, really important work and it's really, really good work. It's very satisfying. It's a great career. So whether you're in this class for a prereq because you're going to become a teacher, or you're taking it just to see what it's all about, hopefully you'll be excited after these 12 weeks to want to continue to learn more and to become a teacher. That's my goal. Here's just a little bit about me. This is my family. You may know my wife, Professor Zalaki, April Zalaki. She's a full-time faculty member in education there at COD. So a lot of what we do, you're not getting just my perspective, you're getting her perspective too. So, kind of get the tag team here. Here are our three kids, right? They keep us busy. All their activities. The youngest one here, Amelia, she's our horseback rider. The middle one, Sophia, she's our singer and dancer. And then our oldest, Trevor, he's our musician, plays clarinet in the marching band, and him and I rock out, play all kinds of heavy metal on the guitar. So, they keep us busy, right? They're the reasons my wife and I do what we do. So what are we going to do today? I'm not going to make this video very long. I don't like to make these videos long. I know it's tough to sit behind a computer and listen to someone drone on. So we're going to hit the important stuff here. I'll quickly just show you the syllabus. We'll go over Blackboard, talk about the textbook, we'll talk about probably the most important part here is your field experience, and then we'll review your assignments for next week. So let's pop over to Blackboard here real quick. Here's what you're going to see. And I know this folder was up for a minute here, and then I took it down. I wanted to make some changes as I was looking at it. So sorry if anyone got confused here. You'll always have, what I would recommend is I would always start here, the weekly modules. And you'll see, now these are set to go live 10 a.m. every Monday. The next week will pop up. All right. And I will always have a slideshow presentation like this with the important stuff that we want to talk about. And then I'll have one of these videos linked as well right here under the instructions. So this will always be at the top of your weekly folder. Underneath that, we'll have any important assignments that I would like you to complete and instructions for submitting those. Some of these, you just got to make sure you're checking out how you get the information. Like this first one here, you're going to a website and completing it. This one here, you have some questions that you'll type on another document and upload it. This third one here will be a Google Doc that you'll copy, type in it, and re-upload it. So make sure you're following, the instructions for each assignment carefully so you have the right information. And if anyone, I tend to share things through Google Drive. If you have an issue and you can't get stuff from Google Docs or Google Drive, let me know, and I can adjust for you. Assignments that I copy over from maybe some of the other 1100 classes that my wife teaches or Professor Delgado teaches, they might look a little bit different, okay? So just a heads up on that. Everything you do is going to be due the next week at 10 a.m. So if we look at, let's say, this mandated reporter training, you can see here, due next Monday, September 27th, 10 a.m. Okay, and that'll be for all of the work we do throughout the term. Also have the textbook linked here. Now, hopefully you're excited about this. The textbook is free. It's an open source textbook. So it's a little, let's see if I can pop it out. I should change that for you too. Let's do it this way. I will change it so it just pops up on its own website here, so you don't have to worry about any of this headers and stuff here. So in order to access the book, right, you just click through the links, and then you're going to want to go to contents here, the drop-down menu, and then you can see the different chapters here, chapter 1, 2, 3, etc. We're obviously going to start with chapter 1. And it's a little crazy because you can't just click on the heading here to get into chapter 1. You got to hit the plus sign and then go to the first section of chapter 1 to get going. It'll have the objectives here. And then to move to the next page, you're going to come all the way down here to the bottom right and go through that way, right? So it's not super streamlined, but hey, it's free, so we take what we can get, right? So that's our textbook. Field experience, we're going to come back to the syllabus. The syllabus has all my contact information, right? Email is the best way since we're virtual. I don't have a phone number. I don't have an office that I go to. The link for the textbook's also here. The one thing that I want to highlight here on the syllabus is the schedule. So being an adjunct, I don't set the schedule, but I do have some freedom to change it. As I go through this, I see myself changing this up a bunch. There's some things I want to change the order of. So bottom line, don't pay attention to these dates, okay? And make sure you're always going back to these weekly folders here, these weekly modules. These are going to be the dates that we're going to follow. And your due date is always going to be the next Monday at 10 a.m., okay? So this just gives you a broad idea of the topics we'll cover. So that's why I left it in here. So the topics we're going to cover, not necessarily in this order, not necessarily these exact assignments. I think that's it for the syllabus and Blackboard. That's the important stuff there. We talked a little bit about the textbook. Field experience. All right, so field experience. Super, super, super important that you get on this right away. You have, as a part of this class, a mandatory 20 hours that you need to complete in a school. Some of these could be some virtual hours, but now that we have COVID restrictions lifted, the expectation is that you go back face-to-face in person in a school. I would recommend reaching out to a teacher that you know and make sure that you have this printed out and filled out for them when you contact them and say, hey, I'm in this class. Here's the information about the class. I have 20 hours of observations that I need. Make sure you fill out all this portion here. I've had lots of teachers in the past contact me saying, hey, I got this random person. Don't know who this is. What are these for? Okay. So make sure that you are including this page. Make sure you're filling this out. Write them a nice professional email explaining exactly who you are and what you need. Okay. If you don't know anybody, don't just randomly email teachers. I would contact principals, contact the administration and say, again, introduce yourself professionally, tell them you're a COD student in education, you need 20 hours, and make sure you send along this introduction letter as well. Okay? I can't stress this enough. Don't wait until the end of the week to do this. Don't wait till next week to do this. I would start doing this tonight. Okay? We have a lot of students successfully complete all the coursework, the reading, all the assignments, but they don't get their 20 hours done and they fail the course. You cannot pass the course, even if you have 100% and everything else, without your 20 hours. It's not on me. It's not on any of the other professors in the department. This is a requirement for the accreditation of the entire education program through the state of Illinois and the Community College Accreditation Board. So you have to complete these hours. There's no way around it. Okay. If you have some issues, right? So maybe some of you have work issues or health issues or other things, please contact me. Let me know right away, and we can try to work through some stuff and get you some, make it work for you. But you still have to do your 20 hours. Okay. What else is in here? You have a log as well. So this letter here is due next week, right? Get it submitted next week so I know where you're going and who you're doing your hours with. That doesn't mean you can't start your hours right away. Maybe you have this ready to go and you can start your hours Wednesday. Every time you do an observation, you need to complete a field experience log. So you'll print it out and just handwrite. Where'd it go? Looks like I got to fix that. I don't know why that's not coming up now. Oh, there we go, because it's downloading. So every time you do an observation, you'll print this out and you'll handwrite the answers. It's, just what did you see? What was the teacher doing? When you went in, and have your teacher initial it. Okay. So that's your log where you're going to keep your hours. You're going to submit this as well at the end of the term. The other one you need to do every time you go in, you'll have your field notes. You'll identify some professional teaching standards, what were the activities, et cetera, et cetera. We'll talk about what these standards are. If you don't know what these are right away for your first couple of observations, that's okay. We can go back and fill those out because we'll learn about these later. All right. I think that covers everything for the field experience. There's also in this week's folder, there's another video that goes over field experience right here from my wife, Professor Zalaki. She talks about that as well. That may help you. You'll want to watch that also. All right, review our assignments. So week one, what besides the field experience, what are you going to do this week? So this week is a little bit of a reflection. Your homework is to read chapter 1 in the text. But in the meantime, I want to know a little bit about you. I want to know what your thoughts are on teaching. What are your ideal teacher characteristics? So you're going to reflect on a really good teacher you had in the past. You're going to reflect on a teacher who maybe you didn't see eye to eye with, right? And answer these questions here, reflecting on those two. I am going to ask next week, we're going to share this out. I'm just debating whether that's going to be a bulletin board style, if it'll be, like a Google chat, or if we'll do Flipgrid or something like that. I am going to have you share some of these questions, so be prepared for that. A similar assignment is this ideal teaching position. So kind of the same thing, but talks about where you want to work, what you want to teach, how much you want to make. If you could make the perfect school for you to teach at, what would it look like? And again, be prepared to share out some of these answers here. There's a mandated reporter training you have to complete. You'll go through, create an account, follow the online modules. I think there's a little test at the end, and then you'll just submit a screenshot of your certificate. Okay. A lot of schools want this for observations. If you don't know what a mandated reporter is, as a teacher, you must report any signs of abuse that you see, physical, emotional abuse. And if you don't, and it comes back that you knew that a student was being abused, you will lose your teaching license. You will not be a teacher anymore. So this is important stuff here. There is a pretest, not graded. So it's just, hey, tell me what you know. Take the test, do the best you can, and it'll give me an idea of kind of where everyone's at in the course. I think that's it. And then your field experience. Again, I can't stress enough. This stuff, pretty easy. You can probably wait till the weekend, right? I know we like to put stuff off. I do the same thing. Field experience, do not put it off. Start on this tonight. Start reaching out to people and get this finished. All right, well, that was a little bit longer than I wanted to go. I try to keep these videos about 10 minutes, but important stuff this week. We will, let's see, one last thing here. Kind of the way that I run my class here is chapter 1 is assigned for reading this week. We will then, week 2, talk a little bit about what we read the previous week. Okay, so you'll read chapter 1. We'll talk about it next week in class. Please reach out with any emails, questions, concerns, comments. Send me an email. Let me know any way that I can help. Again, excited for this class. I really hope I get across how awesome teaching is. I'll say it a million times. It's a wonderful career, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So take care. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday.